Okay, I guess I just want to kind of talk about the just certain aspects of dealing with a person with NPD or um, a malignant narcissist in my case. Um, when it comes to gaslighting, the breadcrumbing, the just the manipulation tactics that people like this tend to use. In my case, like literally, he would just do stuff like, let's say we're having a good day, everything okay. He's gonna do something to disrupt the day. Let's just say, okay, if he does something nice, just know he gonna come back and do something 10 times worse, 10 times more evil later. You know, like we could be having a good day. Um, he would do this stuff where he would wait till we get in a car to start an argument. Or if we're trying to go do something together, hang out somewhere or do something, he would make sure he would make it so uncomfortable in public that we end up not really doing a lot of things together, like as a couple. Like, and my behind, now that part, I didn't see that at first. I'm like, it started to become a pattern, and I started picking up on it. Like, this Negro will go out to eat, and I was making a joke about, because I guess the water was bad at the restaurant. I was like, made a little joke to him, like, did you pass gas? Like, he blew up on me in public, like I was trying to demean him in public, like he can't be nowhere with me in public. I don't know how to conduct myself. I really was just making a little joke, because I don't know if it was the water in the restaurant or something, but it had a bad smell. And it's just like, from that point, he would just, start really, really just that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, just making it seem like I don't have any couth. I don't know how to act in public, just started, the mind games and just the things I know that they do. And so he'll, do real crazy stuff like that, and just have me feeling like, oh, like that's where the belittling started really coming into play. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, okay, my bad, I apologize or whatever. That's not what I was trying to do, and this was in the very beginning of the relationship. So of course you want to make a good impression. Of course you, especially, at the very beginning, and y'all really starting to like each other, you're thinking like, okay, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And I always had a, like, oh wow. So what I didn't know what he was doing was basically starting to isolate me by doing that. Because now, I used to be taking him, to work far. I mean, like, he worked far out. So I was like, he would be like, I can't ride with you. I can't be in a car with you. You just like my other baby mama. I can't be nowhere around you. You don't know how to behave. Every time you want to argue, we get in a car. And it's just like, no, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I'm trying to get to why you're so upset and so cantankerous. What's the problem? What's the issue? Man, these people pay extreme mind games. Extreme mind games. And at the time, on that particular part, I didn't really understand, like, the lengths that they will go to cause self-doubt, to make you gaslight you, make you and when I say gaslight, I know a lot of people like, no, like really make you thinking that you crazy, or that maybe you are the problem. Maybe you don't know how to behave. Maybe all that kind of stuff. But what they setting you up for is to later on, you're going to start getting triggered later. That's what you don't know. You don't know this right now. But they're going to start using events like this to trigger you later. And you're really going to get angry, and you're really going to act out of character. And they're going to make everybody think, there's something wrong with you. Or they're going to make you think there's something really wrong with you, that you're the crazy one. and I know you probably heard this on other people's videos on narcissism. That's what really made me start doing research, because I started saying, okay, this is a pattern, you know. This is a pattern. I think I was listening to one of, I think it's her name is Telsha. I listened to her videos. It's like, I started saying, wait a minute. This is crazy. And so, or, you know, then it made me to the point where when we did go somewhere, he acted so strange. Like one time we went to dinner. Do you know he spent 45 minutes in the bathroom at dinner? I was sitting to the table by myself when we went on a date. Like, things like that. And he played it off like, oh, girl, my stomach was hurting. I had to use the restroom. Nah. And my spirit was like, nah, he lying. He was in the bathroom on that phone, or he's trying to. The way he was looking around, to me, it was like he was trying not to be seen. He was hoping that he wasn't, you know, going to get caught. But just imagine you going on a date with somebody that you know, y'all been really talking, and he go sit in the bathroom for 45 minutes. You know, you like, what's up with that? You know, just stuff like that. You know, I'm telling you, in the very beginning, like, you kind of like, okay, that's odd. Like, man, was you really? But he like, yeah. I'm like, something telling me like, nah, he just didn't want to be seen. He was trying to wait it out so that the restaurant was getting close to closing before he came out and ordered the food. So I was like, okay, that went left. And then just noticed more and more patterns every time we would go somewhere together. So I would try to, you know, and that's how they get you. Now you're trying to please. Now they got you trying to please the person, because you're wondering, why are things so off? Like, what? Like, did I do something wrong? Did I really do something wrong? Okay, I want to take him somewhere nice. So, you know, I went and got a really, really nice hotel in Orlando. And just like, you know, I mean, you know, top scale, you know, upscale. Just like, I ain't really had the money for that, but I am that type of person. I guess I got that from my mom. Like, I really do like nice. I'll do staycays all day. Like, I can go somewhere 45 minutes, hour and a half, whatever. You know, just a nice, really nice room or whatever. And, you know, I just got us a suite, and it was really nice. And, you know, just to say, you know, let's just enjoy each other's company. You know what I mean? Let's just, you know, have a ball out weekend. I don't have it like that, but you know, every now and then, you know, just to spoil him, just to say, okay, let's start fresh. Let's just go. You know, at the time I was like, you know, I don't know where this relationship gonna go, but, you know, let's just be on our grown men, grown women, go have fun. Let's just relax. Let's just chill, enjoy each other's company. So I was just ordering good food, just laughing, making jokes, watching videos, watching movies, just trying to, you know, lighten whatever that weird, you know, behavior was. That's all a tactic. If you didn't know and you listen to this video, you happen to listen to this video, that is a tactic that they use to make you unsure of yourself, to make you insecure, to make you second guess. And so now, you know, human nature, at least for me, it's like you don't want that person to really be unhappy for real. You just like, okay, well, now you're trying to do things to please, because I do have some people pleasing, because growing up, if I'm just being honest, you know, I could never really please my mom. Honestly, she was never happy. Like, to her, I never did things right. I rarely got, you know, I'm proud of you, or you did well, and I know she loved me, but I think it was because of how my grandmother did her. My grandmother did not raise her, and how she treated my mom. She did not treat her well. She let my great grandmother raise my mom, and that was very tumultuous as well, because my mom went from home to home, nobody really taking her in. My great uncle did, and then, you know, one of my great aunts, and then she ended up finally, she told me, with her great grandmother. So my mama was kind of tossed around a lot, because my grandmother kind of rejected her. So I think that, she did some of that stuff to me because that's all she knew. And so it was like I did have a lot of people pleasing ways. And I feel like, honestly, I'm just recently, and I'm still coming out of really getting delivered out of people pleasing. It used to make me real angry and real volatile because I felt like when I did do anything for anybody, I always did it from my heart. And I did it wanting to genuinely see other people happy, even though a lot of times I struggle with depression. I think that was also a part of, me. I'm very empathetic. I know some people say Christians should not use the word empath, but, I have to do more research on that. But I've always been a very empathetic person. So I guess in my own mind, if I couldn't be happy, I at least could be vicariously happy through other people, making other people happy. And it just never seemed to be enough, or it never seemed to work, or I never seemed to get any kind of real reciprocation in my mind, I guess. It could be me on some ends, but that's the way I felt at the time. And even recently. So it's just like, okay, so I'm trying to being a people pleaser. Now I'm in that mode where, as a woman, I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm trying to do everything for him. I'm trying to make him happy. I'm trying to say, it seemed like we was hitting it off, and, now it's all off. But, man, that is such a manipulation tactic that they use. So now they can get you hooked on the up and down, the building you up, complimenting you, saying how sweet you are, saying how much they appreciate everything you do for them, how you make them feel like a king, how you make them feel special, only to that's the setup to tear you down eventually. That's the mind game that you don't know. You finna get ready to be on that roller coaster, boy. You finna get ready to go slap down, straight down. And he'll do stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay. So for a while, it was where the roles was kind of reversed. Like, I started really liking him. So, I started being nurturing, overdoing, over caring, over helping, which I know I have a tendency to do. Just being too emotionally, spilling my guts, telling too much of my business, telling too much of, my past or whatever, and not really realizing he making it seem like he's sharing the past, his life, but he wasn't sharing his business. He was feeding me just enough information to make me think, okay, we are getting to know each other better, or getting reacquainted since we was kids, and really kind of, it almost start to feel like picking up where we left off. But then we would have these little weird incidents like I was explaining earlier. So just know that if you notice any of that, where everything is fine, and then now they have you walking on eggshells because then he was okay. We had a good time that one weekend, and then the next time it's off again. That's the setup. And they'll do for you financially. Some of them, I don't know about all of them. They will do things to help you. I'm an acts of service type of person, and affirmation type of person. So yeah, it would say all the sweet nothings and all of that stuff, and you'd be like, okay. Then, one weekend, out of the blue, I don't hear from him for 2 days. But by this time, it's a good ways in. We done been dating for a while. Now his phone dead. He telling me the phone got broke, and he didn't have another way to get another phone, and he ended up calling me from a friend number or whatever, homeboy number. Here we go. You just don't know. I mean, this is, and yes, I know a lot of people going to say, you should have known better. Yes, I should have. Because God did say some things at the very beginning. But this is just how I feel like me personally, how I got drawn even more into it. And I'm like, you lost your phone? Then I see he showed me the phone is broke. See, my phone broke. I broke my phone, blah, 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 blah. I had to go get another one. I wasn't able to get another one, so I'm calling from my homeboy phone. Just, But really, that's just to keep you, hanging on. Now you're like, man, okay, whatever, Or, then it starts to be where, he was with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time, and he's slowly less and less and less and less. But by that time, you're in love. You invested. You don't share your life. Start sharing personal stuff with this person. Sharing your heart. Sharing things, your insecurities, your highs, your lows. You know what I'm saying? Now you feel like you're vulnerable. You open yourself up, to this person. And here come the games. So I tried to be strong and kind of break it off, and then mutual, my sister's first love, like she's still friends with him, and he's like a brother to me. His mom passed away, and this particular person knew that person very well as well. So it was kind of a shock that that she passed away and the way she died, and that was kind of what reconnected me and him, because I really felt bad, and I don't think he knew that she had passed. So I had just reached out and was like, hey, because we weren't talking like that. I kind of was trying to just, if he really wants something, I was just kind of like, well, I'm just going to back off and fall back. And if we get back together, or if we get back serious, we do. If we don't, I'm just trying to leave it where it's at. So that's what kind of drew us back together, because of, her passing and stuff like that. And we started, kind of talking, kind of back together, and then kind of going strong, like, after that. Only for, that in and out start creeping back up after a while, all over again. And then I'm just like, do he got somebody else in his life? I'm not hearing anything. I'm not... I don't, I'm just like, yeah, I don't really hear about him in the streets, but I'm not in the streets like that. So I don't go out and stuff no more, all that. So I'm like, I don't really know. I'm just thinking like, okay, well, I don't know. Whole fiasco is, end up happening like, we had been together probably on and off at that time, probably almost, 8 months or something, 9 months. And his baby mama inboxing me, asking me all these questions. And, no, that hadn't happened yet. Take that back. I ended up coming to his house to bring him something to eat, and catching his other, one of his other baby moms or whatever, leaving his house. So then she circled back, and I don't know why. When I saw that car, because I had never met her, I had never seen her, I saw this car, and something said she was there for him. Like, whoever this is, this. So that was how, we ended up stopped talking. It was a whole mess. He ended up breaking my windshield on my car. He said he didn't try to do it. He threw something at my car, and it hit the car. He threw it from upstairs, and it bust my windshield out. And so that's like, I just got away from him. I just like, okay, this over with. This has become just completely toxic. But it still was like, dang, this how this, I would rather us have ended this as being friends. Like, it just went left, like completely left. Like, then, I didn't see him, that was around, before Christmas time, and I didn't see him till like New Year, and it was before Christmas. It was like the beginning of December. I didn't see him till like after the New Year. So he coming back apologizing, that Mr. Hyde, like, like nothing ain't happened, and like, it was because he was so mad, and he wasn't trying to hide nothing, and this is what happened, and she was supposed to leave before I got there, and she wanted it to be known that she's still around, and just lying, really honestly just lying. You know what I'm saying? Find out later still messing with the girl. But at that point it was like, okay, like, why would you do that? This and this and this and that. I'm like, why would you do something like that? Well, I'll help get the window fixed, and this and this and this and that. I don't even know how I accepted him back. And my best friend was just like, are you kidding me? Like, he said that he may really, if he'll do that, you never know what he might do later. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I let it go, and I ended up getting the windshield fixed, and I was just like, whatever. So we end up talking back, and in a few short months, I was pregnant with my daughter, and then, that's when he kicked it up a notch. Now he just, he was trying, and this is the thing, trying to actively get me pregnant, and I'm like, boy, I don't think I can get pregnant, so you can stop doing that. I'm not, my daughter almost grown, whatever. Then as soon as I was actually pregnant for real, that's when the mask was completely, it really had already failed, honestly, but that's when it completely failed. And he was, you wanted this child, now you in and out, you're not coming around, you're starting arguments so you can just really, I felt like he was trying to abandon us. But now that I understand, no, I'm gonna break it off with you. I'm gonna go back to doing what I was doing, and whoever else I'm doing. But they like to keep you in that cycle. They're gonna come back again. They're not completely ever done. And he did that throughout my pregnancy until I got ready to have her. And this is the kicker, I mean, I was so depressed and hurt, during my pregnancy. And I think that's, like I said, I ended up going through postpartum depression. I still deal with it. And I think it was just the way he treated me the whole time. I hadn't had a baby. My other daughter is grown. And it's like, okay, now I'm, the feeling was different this time around. And it felt like I'm, kind of like new all over again. So it was just like, I can't believe I got myself in a situation with somebody like this. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm thankful to God for my child. And just to show you how it can be. And and I don't want to make excuses, because as a woman, it's like, all I can tell you is that I had been vulnerable and opening myself up in a way that I shouldn't have with this person. And how, not that you don't think what they're doing is toxic, but now that you're drawn in, it's like things that should be where you should run, it's almost like you're like a deer in headlights. You still, like, why when he did that, you didn't just say, okay, this is done, And then now I'm, pregnant and vulnerable, just feeling like I never wanted to be, and the stuff I hear people say, I never wanted to be a single mom at all. My first child's father, I tried to make it work, and we got engaged, and I really realized that, and he told me out of his own mouth years later that, basically, he told me this one day. He said, I took everything I could learn from you, and I felt like after that, I had my behind on my shoulders, and I ain't need you no more, Like, we okay now? Like, we cordial? But I ain't gonna lie, that kind of bothered me. I know he was being truthful, you know what I'm saying, to hear him say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I took everything I could learn from you, and people say, oh, people won't tell you that. Yes, he did. He told me straight up, like, this is the truth. I apologize. Like, I shouldn't, I didn't have to treat you like that, but it is what it is. And it's just like, to me, I'm like, thank you for your apology. But, I struggled years with our daughter, trying to get you to participate, having to put you on child support. I didn't want that to be the route. That was just the way cookie crumble, and I felt like it was up to me to be a mother to protect my child, and in protecting her, to secure you to do something for her that we didn't produce this child. It wasn't a one-night stand. We was together. We knew each other, and I knew him as well since kids. And it's like, you think you're gonna, this how it's gonna be? No, like, you're gonna respect that, and I fought for my child, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that he was some kind of way involved with her. And looking back, I don't think I should have did that, because I didn't focus on building myself. I just felt like, as a mother, it was my job to protect my child and make sure that if he don't at least pay child support. And then I bent over backwards for him to remain in our life. And I felt like at the end, maybe I should have just focused on just taking care of me and her, and I feel like, I was angry at myself, because in this situation, I feel like, dang, even after all these years, the pattern repeated, and I really stayed single a long time to try to prevent the pattern from repeating, and it still did, and it's just like, dang, that's just if I'm just being honest, that's just the way I felt about it. So I know that's kind of going on another direction, but just to know that they will play those mind games to get you to be trying, to try to gain their approval. They will make you think you're doing something wrong, or, the gaslighting. He would do things I knew seemed off or wasn't appropriate, or even with his phone being face down all the time, and, it's always on silent when he around, and just making me think, oh, you're just crazy, you're insecure. No, man, that's all a part of it. That's all a part of it, so that and then they're testing you. They're trying to see how much of this, how much you're going to be able to take. They keep doing things, destructive things, like when he destroyed my windshield. They want to see, oh, I got her. She came back to me after I did something like that. Oh yeah. She can take the abuse. You don't look at it like that. You looking at it like, okay, you spazzing out, you tripping, what you got going on. But no, they looking at it as, they're testing you. They want to see, can she handle the abuse? Can she deal with it? Oh, yeah, she a prime target. I got her. And, I end up, going through so many different things. I'm going to continue this, but I'm going to stop here soon. One other thing I just wanted to mention, too, like, predators usually, because he followed me for a long time on social media, even though I knew him as, of course, I recognized him from school, so I friended him on social media. But he followed me for a long time before he ever said anything to me or reached out to me. Trust and believe that they study their prey. They analyze their prey most of the time. And I'm not saying they can't ever do random things, but most of the time, they have studied you before they ever approached you. And you gotta really, you can't ignore that. Just know that they have done that. They're the people that you don't even recognize paying attention to you. Oh, yeah. You may not know it, but they're paying attention. So you got to pay attention as well. I'm not saying being paranoid, but you do have to have your guard up and pay attention to, even online, certain things people do and how people move, because it'll be an indicator, sometimes of what their intentions are, what they intend to do later on.